Welcome to Riverbend Talent on WBGZ. Brought to you by the Halpin Music Company.
You got to drive.
I got to drive?
Yep.
Where do I got to drive to?
I don't know. You were setting up the screen, so you're driving.
Don't let me drive. I might have been drinking.
We can't let Stevie drive.
Stevie, take the wheel. You want to impress me? Take the wheel.
Billy, you're going to have to drive.
So, hey, it's another Thursday night in the Riverbend area.
Thank you, Billy. Wait, no, you're not Billy. You're Piggy? Is that
Piggy?
Turb Rock called you Piggy?
Yeah, he called me Piggy.
But everyone missed that because, well, you can get it on the internet. They might have heard it on there.
Well, my given name, though, is actually Pigpen.
Is it?
Sir Piggius Pennius.
Do you have that insured by Matt Van Voorhis?
I do. Insurance. I've got that name insured. He insures all my names.
Okay.
No, he does insure all my auto and my home and all that good stuff.
Well, you know
maybe
what?
Some guitars.
The most important thing he insures to me is this program.
He does. He
ensures we get to do it every week.
He does. He ensures that we are going to be back, along with Halpin Music,
right?
Who's been with us for so long.
I looked it up. 2016.
2016.
Yeah, because I was cruising through cottonmouth.org and I was looking at the Riverbend Talent video page, right? And I realized that I wrote, you can go to altondailynews.com and get all the podcasts going back to 3 years or something I wrote. And I'm like, well, it's over that now. I better change this. So I had to reword it to make it, forever now. So it says back to 2016.
There you go.
Right? Because there's a lot of videos on there, but they don't go back that
far. No.
Right. But there are shows prior to that you can get.
You can get just the audio, not the video.
I thought about redoing some of them, put some pictures in or something, and this never got around to like a reboot.
Reboot.
Right?
Do you remember 2016? There's no COVID.
Man, I remember 2019 was one of the greatest years I can remember in the past, just because I didn't have to do all the stuff I had to do in 2020. Right?
Right.
And, I complained about 2019. Trust me. There was a time I was like, man, this is the worst year ever.
And now, you just want to get back there.
Mm.
That's a lot of life.
Yeah. But, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the good things and try to laugh.
What are we
Laughing
talking
good.
about?
We are the award-winning unhumorous radio station. We're trying to be humorous on this show, just to throw a big wrench in things, because we're wrench kind of guys, and we throw wrenches around.
Just so people get the reference, because that one made me laugh hard. I've been coming in here apparently since 2016.
You did,
and there's been an award sitting out in the lobby the whole time, and I just I don't really look at awards a whole lot, and I finally looked at it, and it said an award for non-humorous radio, and I thought, oh wow,
yeah. How did you get on here? Right.
I guess I'm trying, but it's not working, is what I thought. I thought we were being humorous.
What are they really saying about your humor, right?
Anyway.
Hey, you know what's neat tonight is our guest.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Lisa Grezlak.
That was fun. Remember, we had 2 guests last week that we taped in advance, right?
Yeah.
And after we did the show, you could just feel the aura in the room had changed, right?
Yeah.
Because we were tapping on some of these bowls. And for proof, we had a lizard, Suki the lizard, that came in for the second show.
Right.
And it changed colors when its mood was right?
Yeah,
that's a mood ring lizard.
Yeah.
It was a dragon, actually.
It was a bearded dragon.
Right.
Yeah. And Autumn Conkle, who's going to be our guest in a couple weeks, who was the owner of it, said, it's changing colors. It's in a good mood as soon as we walked in the room.
It had nothing to do with what you smelled like.
I don't know the lizard's personal habits, but I can tell you this. Lisa said that one thing that everybody says after they get the sound bath is that they never slept better. And I'm going to tell you something. I slept like a baby that night.
I don't remember.
I do.
Thursday nights are a great sleep night for me.
Yeah.
Especially if it hasn't rained all week.
Right.
Because I won't have to use my rain day on Friday.
Right. You get to actually sleep in. Yeah. Well, Svound, S-V-O-U-N-D, Svound with Lisa Grezlak.
Right.
That's going to be our guest coming up here in, about another 10, 15 minutes.
We're going to get mellow. Actually, we're going to talk about all kinds of weird stuff. Pyramids.
Yeah,
right?
it went, the interview went to places I didn't expect it to. Lisa's very interesting, and she knows she's into the sound. I think the Coral Castle even got brought up.
Yep.
I hadn't thought about that for years, man. Oh, that is a great, anybody who's never.
The brown tone.
The brown tone got brought
right.
up. Oh, my gosh.
We talked about pretty much every tone.
We talked about
the
sound.
tone that the earth resonates, right?
Wow, we did. We covered a lot of ground,
The sound,
didn't we?
the sound is all around.
I've heard that song.
Yeah.
You can hear that song at cottonmouth.org. You can see the video, I bet.
Twisting and swirling, there's never a worry. We're all held together by sound.
That's it, man. We're all held together by
Something
the
like
vibrations of sound.
I've seen an internet video. I don't know. It's probably fake news, but I always.
If it's on YouTube, it's true.
Well, I believe the South Park episode of the brown tone.
Oh yeah,
because we've been trying to get that ever since.
Yoko Ono was
you
not
as well.
prepared.
When I say we, both of us, we've experimented trying to find the brown tone.
Yes, I cannot get anything to go low enough.
No,
to rattle the insides enough. So there you go. Let's do something, man, because we are definitely just babbling here.
I haven't seen you in a week. So.
I haven't seen you since last week. How you been, man?
I've been itching for a sea shanty sing-along on a Thursday night at Morrison's Irish Pub.
There you go. Sea shanty sing-along. Get drunk on Irish whiskey and
everyone's
sing
invited.
With the bar.
It's outdoors. Right?
It is. It's an outdoor event at this
Plenty
time.
Of distancing. What a beautiful night for something like that.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
And then they're doing the open mic down at Ragin Cajun on Thursday nights. Borderline will be at Fast Eddie's tonight. The night market's canceled. So we're running into some cancellations. And I would suggest that anything we say, you should probably check the link at cottonmouth.org because it changes every day.
Yeah. Hate to see an outdoor thing like the night market canceled. It was an outdoor event. I hate to see that.
What about Grafton Music in the Park? It's not canceled.
There you go.
Last I seen, Outlaw Opry was supposed to be up there.
There you go.
Right. Dave Horton Acoustic Country is doing the Prairie Inn in Dorsey. John Stevens on the Patio, 7 to 9 at George's Local Brew in Jerseyville.
Again, outdoor.
Here's a good name for a band.
Yeah.
Lakeside Acoustics. That just sets a mood right there. 6:30 p.m. at Old Herald Brewery in Collinsville.
I already feel like just sitting back with a cocktail.
Right.
Where is my cocktail?
It's from the band name. Lakeside Acoustics. You know what you're getting there.
You do.
Just like Dave Horton Acoustic Country.
Yeah, you know
He's
what you're
not
getting.
going to be playing Dylan.
I think Outlaw.
Well, he might. I don't know. Is that country?
It's
is
to me,
country.
kind. I think Outlaw Opry's fairly self-explanatory.
Yeah.
See, some of them you just never. Now you know which one isn't? Greg Manis.
Yeah,
what does he do? Is he jazz? Is he soul? I don't know.
Is he an insect?
I bet he's. If he's not praying, he's a praying mantis. Maybe, I don't know.
He is playing though
sorry,
tonight.
Greg. Whoever you are, I'm sorry. Greg Manis, 6 to 10 p.m. at Doit's Village Inn in Pontoon Beach, Illinois this evening.
I don't know where you got the 10 at, but
I don't know either. I made that.
You just kind of threw that part in there, but
I was just
honestly, I think people are supposed to close at 11. So, but you know how that goes depends on where you're at, I guess. Oh, let's move on to Friday night since we're at that.
Pianos on the Patio.
Right.
With Charlie Brockus and Jason McAtee. And Paige Kirby.
That's right.
There you go. 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. at the Ragin Cajun Piano Bar in Alton.
That's exactly how it was written. Down at the Chez, Maryland's on Friday night at 8 o'clock, Shawn Garrett. And he's from Thurston Howl.
Right.
He's doing it solo down there. They'll have something going on at Morrison's. Not sure what, but they always do. DJ going to be at a third shoot on Friday night. DJ D-Lux Duo.
No, that's not a DJ.
No.
D-Lux Duo from 3 to 7 p.m. and then exit 52 at 8 p.m. And that is going on at the Fast Eddie's Bone Air.
That's right, Friday night. The Mad Baileys, 7 p.m. at Baker's and Hale on Friday, decades apart, doing the doubleheader down at Doit's Friday and Saturday. Isaiah Christian, 7 to 10. That's
the outlet.
No, it's supposed to be George's Local Brew. I messed that one up.
Ah, okay.
That's a mistake. Sorry.
Oopsie.
But yeah, I remember it.
Here's a good band name. Closed. We'll be at Holiday Shores Marina. I'm not sure if they're any good.
They just said, we're going to close for a week. Let's just wait.
Let's just wait and see what happens.
Take a break.
Here's a good name. Fedorable.
Right?
Fedorable, 7 p.m. at the cabin at Judy Creek in Glen, Illinois. That's going on Friday night.
Pat Jones, we can pronounce that.
Yep.
7 to 11.
Ken to
at
Davy
the,
Jones? No, I don't know.
He's going to be at the Charcoal House Tavern in Jerseyville.
The Warehouse Project. Oh, yeah. Warehouse Project, 6 p.m. at the Loading Dock in Grafton, Illinois.
We'll be talking about Friday night if you're just tuning in. Open mic at the Hog Pit on Friday night.
And Soulard Island Dudes, 5 to 9 p.m. at Mike LaRosa's Cabana Bar in Portage de Sioux, Missouri.
Right, for all the boaters.
Yeah.
Friday night.
Which is just across the river.
Or Saturday. And the event our guest is promoting tonight.
This Saturday, yeah.
It's called a Sound Bath. Pigpen takes a bath tonight, which is probably the biggest news so far. I mean, think of his name, folks.
I need a bath. I don't know if I took a bath.
Right. It's a sound bath, and it's very relaxing. And there's going to be an event on Saturday at Jacoby's where they do it for real. We just kind of dabbled, right?
Yes.
Dabbled in a sound bath.
Right.
Kind of just put our toes in there a little.
Dipped a little toe in the sound bath. Svound by Lisa Grezlak.
Right. And
Is
that's
the sound bath.
We'll be talking about that whole thing, and that's coming out Saturday, right?
Yep. Then back to the pianos on the patio.
Doubleheader this
Again,
weekend.
it's Charlie Brockus, Jason McAtee, and Paige Kirby, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. at the Ragin Cajun.
New bar in town, Hiram's in Alton.
Yeah.
It's down there in the same area.
Yep.
Raging Cajun and Chez, Maryland's, and Eyes Within, who play quite a bit over at Raging Cajun, going to do Hiram's.
There you go.
New bar in town.
I think that's the old Ralph's, I think. Anyway,
Is it?
I think. I don't know.
I seen a picture of what was across the street, and I don't think it was a Raging Cajun. That would be across from Ralph's, right?
Yeah.
Or
the
pawn shop.
Yeah, the pawn shop. Yeah. Riverbend.
I think it's further down. I think it's on the other end.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Riverbend will be at Chez, Maryland this Saturday evening.
Right. Riverbend is bluegrass.
Yes, Riverbend Bluegrass Band.
Right.
Mr. Chris Schumacher and Company.
That's coming up Saturday night. Also on Saturday at the Bon Air Fast Eddie's. Naked Soul 3 to 7, exit 52 at 8 o'clock.
DJ Karaoke, 8 p.m. at Third Shoot Bar and Grill in Alton. That's the Third Shoot number 2.
I believe they had Rock Bottom scheduled, but they switched it over. So maybe the old Spike thing,
Rogers and Neenhouse, 7 p.m. at Baker's and Hale and Godfrey.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah, good music, good food.
In your neighborhood.
Yep,
pretty
right
much.
around the corner.
Matt Eschbach will be doing Georgia's Local Brew in Jerseyville 7 to 10. Jake Weber 7 to 11 at the Charcoal House Tavern in Jerseyville.
And then Lead Sled, 7 p.m. at the Oyster Bar in Grafton.
And Tie-Dye Band doing
like that
3 o'clock slot at the Hog Pit in Grafton. Scott Logan and Leslie Craig at Grafton Winery on Saturday. Big George Brock Jr. and the NGK Band up at the Loading Dock on Saturday at 6 o'clock. And the Glendale Riders all the way up in Chesterfield playing with no cover.
Ooh.
You don't always catch them with no cover.
You don't catch them with no cover too often.
6 to 10 at Wild Pickens in Chesterfield.
There you go. Lanny and Julie, 2 p.m. at the Foundry in Edwardsville.
Mm-hmm. I know they're having live music at the outlet at Edison's, but they didn't list it.
All right. Well,
Matt Powell is playing 7 o'clock at the cabin at Judy Creek and Glen Carbon. And I mentioned decades apart doing the doubleheader down at Doit's Village Inn in Pontoon Beach. Jonathan Baker across the lake, across the river, right?
the lake. Across the pond now, mate.
Jonathan Baker's playing in England. No, he's playing across the mighty Mississippi.
Yeah.
3 p.m. at Mike LaRosa's Cabana Bar in Portage to Sioux.
There you go.
And then Sunday, we'll get that out of the way.
Naked Soul, 1 to 5 p.m. Hollywood 5, 6 to 10 p.m. at Fast Eddie's Big Fun.
3 Pedros are going to be at
Tres
the
Pedros, nice.
Yeah, at the Grafton Winery on Sunday.
Ruby Lee.
Remember Ruby Lee?
Yeah, she's like maybe 11 or 12 or something, but she can sing.
They had her scheduled a couple of times, and it's been canceled because of different things.
Well, she performed at either a Bush Fest or a Trinity River Fest because my wife bought her CD.
Right.
So,
but she's
a little country singing girl.
Nashville, I want to say she's out of.
I can't
Ruby Lee,
remember.
right?
Yeah.
2 to 6 at the Hog Pit in Grafton.
There you
at
go.
The
And that
Hog
girl,
Pit
man.
in Grafton. At the Hog Pit in Grafton.
that girl can sing. She's
Yeah.
she's not got a lot of years to her yet, but she sure sounds like she does. So there you go. Trilogy, 4 p.m. at the loading dock on Sunday.
Graham Picano having trouble drawing, so he's going to add Sam 4.
That's gonna help.
Yeah, he's going to add Sam 4 to the show. 2 p.m. in Dickens in Chesterfield. Graham is expecting a large crowd now.
Yes, yeah. It's funny.
At least 25 people.
I was talking to Graham about having the Graham band play, and he said, "Well, how about if me and Sam play?"
Yeah,
he
Graham and
knows
Sam. Why don't they just change it to Graham and Sam?
Graham and Sam. Come on, man. Quit. What's with all the last name crap?
Yeah.
Highfalutin guys.
Polluty.
There you go. So Graham and Sam at Wild Pickens. That's what we're going to call them from now on, whether they like it or not. Graham and Sam this Sunday.
You
at
rename
Wild
everyone
Pickens.
else, so why stop now?
I sometimes do.
Right. Red Line's a good name. They're playing 3 to
Why
7
not?
at Michael Rosa's in Portage de Sioux on Sunday. Scott and Michelle, 2 p.m. at Doit's in Pontoon Beach, and Dave Horton Acoustic Country. What do you think he plays? 3 o'clock at Doit's Hoodats.
He plays classical. Herbert Chopin, I think.
Hoodats in Collinsville. Hoodats in
Hoodats.
Collinsville. That's where Dave Horton Acoustic Country plays. Sunday, 3
Sunday.
p.m. at Hoodats in Collinsville. At Hoodats in Collinsville.
Things are spinning out of control
Right.
here.
And they're keeping Fosterburg in the Park going.
There you go.
Yeah, there's some controversy, though, on the Facebook page. You should check that out here.
Really?
I'm not going to bring it up. They can,
All right. Well,
anyways.
Well, Ashley L. Heflin
Right.
and Ethan Morris will be at the Fosterburg Music in the Park Monday, August 24th. I'll tell you what else is. We already mentioned it once, but Saturday,
Right.
August 22nd, Svound by Lisa
Right.
Grezlak.
That's what
will
we're
be
gonna
giving.
be-
She will be giving sound baths at 7 p.m. at Jacoby's Art Center. Going to talk to her coming up in just a minute.
We're
right?
all going to be taking a bath together, actually.
Bath
Sort
with
of.
friends.
Sort
That's
of.
what a hot tub is when you take the bubbles off. A bath
gonna-
with friends.
She brought her bowls,
She
And
did.
we,
I brought my bowl too.
right?
Fire it up, baby. No.
Had some copper. We had some crystal,
Glass.
and they sounded amazing.
Yeah.
And that's all coming up here on River Bend Talent. That's the name of the show. Has nothing to do with us, right?
Oh, wow.
Right? Has nothing to do with us. That's the name of the people
there you go.
on the show.
There
right?
you hey, yeah. There you go. So
Not the idiots who just tell you what's going on this
Right.
weekend. And, yeah, have fun out there if you decide to go out. Pay
Right
attention.
on.
You know,
And-
everybody's doing something different a little bit, so, you know.
and if you want to know what we just said, because we go through that list,
Right.
and I know hearing someone read a list on the radio has got to be like boring to you out there,
Right.
but we're trying to promote everything that's going on. If you're out this weekend and you're like, what did those jackasses
Yeah.
say? You can just go to cottonmouth.org, pull your phone up, go to cottonmouth.org, and there Dennis has put together a nice list that
Yeah.
tells you where the places are, where the people are playing, and you can click on the links to make sure it's still happening. I bet.
All free.
There you go,
Right.
all free.
Free.
Services
Free stuff.
by Dennis Laird. There
Well,
you go.
you know, because we have support from Matt Panvoris of
Yes.
Macias Insurance and Halpin Music. They're doing their back-to-school stuff, and, man, they've got a mess because every school's doing something different. Right?
Yeah.
But they got it all figured out. They got one of them QR codes, right? And so
Ah.
all you got to do is if you want to rent an instrument, you want to, stay at home and do it, you just get the QR code and you go. And check this out, though. If you rent your instrument from Halpin, for the upcoming band, see, they're still going to be doing stuff online and different things, I'm sure.
Right.
I was thinking, man, a brass instrument would be perfect in these times because, they got them little spit tune things in them, and you could just, take the little spit out and then have it tested, right?
Can I mail this off?
You don't have to work up trying to spit when you go. Just save the stuff from the horn, right? That was always fascinating to me as a kid when I would see the other kids open that valve and just
dump the
Yeah.
spit out. You're like, oh yeah,
I'm sure they're doing that much more cleaner now.
there we go.
So, but, what I was going to say is Halpin is offering, if you rent from them, a free music stand to go along. And you're going to have to have a music
You got to
stand.
have a music stand.
So there you go. You're taking care of it.
Even if you play by ear, they're gonna make you have a music stand at school. So there you go.
All right,
Awesome.
let's get on to the fun, the good stuff.
Yeah, let's
Right?
get down to some Lisa Grezlak.
Let's go take a bath with Pigpen. You want to? Come on, guys. Let's go do it. Riverbend Talent on the Big Z, brought to you by the Halpin Music Company and by Mr. Matt Van Voorhis. Hi, Matt, of Macias Insurance.
And now more Riverbend talent.
With Dennis Laird and Pig Pen.
Riverbend Talent on the Big Z, brought to you by the Halpin Music Company and by Mr. Matt Van Voorhis of Macias Insurance. We're going to get a little therapy tonight, Pigpen.
You know what?
We need it.
I need some therapy.
Everybody does right now, I think.
This world is so twisted with hatred. If we could just all stop hating each other for 1 minute.
Wow, a soapbox. Check it out.
I need a soap bar.
There you go.
I need a soapbox.
How about a bath?
I need a bath. I need a sound bath.
Okay.
We've got Lisa Grezlak from Svound, Svound, Svound by Lisa Grezlak. She does sound baths, which is sound healing and sound vibrations, sound feeling, really, right? Very nice to meet you, Lisa.
Nice to meet you, too.
And Lisa is going to be down at Jacoby's on August 22nd giving a sound bath. And it's sound healing. It's a meditation. If you're into meditation or if you're into yoga, if you're not into it, but life has got you down and you're just want to relax and don't know how, this is where it's at, man. It's vibrations. It's why we all go see live music. It's why we all live. So we're going to get into the history of some of this, and we're going to talk to her about it. But I want to give the information right up front that Jacoby's August 22nd, 7 to 8:30 p.m. Advanced tickets are $30. You can get those. How can we get those, Lisa?
On the Jacoby Art Center website.
Just Jacoby Art Center website. Y'all know.
.org.
.org, correct.
JacobyArtCenter.org. Advanced tickets $30. There's going to be $35 tickets at the door, and for the first time ever, introducing children's tickets. Kids 10 to 15, $15, and for parents that means you get to go spend some real crazy quiet time with your kids. Have you ever even once done that? Even once? I mean, when you're sleeping, maybe. Probably got a TV on. Who knows? So let's jump back into the history of the sound healing. You got into this back in 2017.
I did.
And you were so enthused by the way that the sound bath. You had an accidental sound bath, right?
Yes.
So first of all, tell us, how do you get an accidental sound bath?
I accidentally found sound. What do you say?
I'm just saying, Pig.
Oh yeah. Hey, some of the best things happen in life are accidents, right? Best music written.
I think I'm going to have a band called the Accidental Baths. I don't know. Anyway.
So I was going on vacation, which I didn't do often, but I was reading about vortexes, energy. I just was kind of into that phase, and not for some specific reasons, but it doesn't really matter. But I decided that I wanted to stop off in Sedona. It was not the destination, but it was on the way to where I wanted to go. And I thought, I just want to be in a vortex, whatever that means. I don't know if there's like sparkles going on, or if the temperature's different, or if I'll see swirls. I mean, it was very early in my kind of studies and interest in energy and phenomenon, that goes on. And so I go see the sun rise, and it happens obviously really early. And so the city opens really early. And so we went down, and I thought, well, maybe I'll just get like a little token in one of the gift shops, and then we'll head out. And at that time in my life, I was highly stressed, and I couldn't get through a week without 1 or 2 massages. I was just extremely stressed out. I was a full-time businesswoman. And so I signed up I saw this sign for a massage, and she said something to me, and I kind of was in my mode, and I didn't really hear what she said. And I said, whatever, yes, that's cool, we'll take 2, And I go into this room, and there are maybe like 200 really large crystal bowls. And I'm like, wow, this is really an interesting view, and I lay down, and she starts putting these bowls on me, and I'm like, I'm not getting a body massage. And then she starts to play them, and she goes down by my feet. I think I had an eye pillow on, goes down by my feet, and I have this powerful electric surge go through my feet, up through my body, out through the top of my head. And although my eyes were closed and my mouth was shut at the time, they were wide open. And from that day on, as I went on my way, I was different. And I knew something had shifted in me, and I could not get over what that was. And I, within that year, just kept saying, I gotta figure out what that was. I gotta figure out what that was. And then it changed my life within years.
Yeah.
My life changed.
Yeah.
Left corporate America without a plan.
Without a safety net.
I didn't even know I was going to be doing it. It just happened because something in me had changed, and it was about truth, which
Yeah. And that's where your confidence come from, right? This feeling which gave you the energy to go ahead and say, I don't have to work for money all day long and stress out over things. I can live life a little freer.
yeah, it did something to me that I knew that there was. I guess what you said it right. There must have been. It was an opening to truth within me, and it sounds really weird to say that, but I knew that everything kept falling apart when I got back. Everything kept falling apart, and all the signs kept leading to like destruction. But like everything that felt good and energetically inside of me felt like harmony. I'm going to use those words now.
Yeah.
Harmonious was leave that and go in this direction. But I didn't know what was in this direction other than I'm quitting that. I'm no longer doing that.
and it takes some courage to just walk away from society, or not walk away from society, but say, I'm not going to do what I've been trained to do and what pays my bills. I'm done with that.
Plus, you've been told your whole life this is how you have to be.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
This is the only way to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's why we say it takes courage, because
Exactly.
we've been trained to think.
I'm almost thinking, and I'm trying to think of an analogy, but maybe that day when that energy shot through me, it was the link in the chain that broke, that bound me together to think that I had to live a certain way and be, what do you call it, like imprisoned to that lifestyle. And I was never happy. I just was trying to make everybody else happy. I was trying to make my family and everybody around. I wanted to live like society lived and drive this car and have this house and date these people and live up to a standard that
Right.
somehow we believe is the answer.
Right.
And I think that's what broke open that day. I think the link to freedom broke open that day.
I think the real answer, maybe I'm wrong, is to have enough cool stuff that people you never met envy you. No, I don't know. Maybe
I knew you were going the wrong way.
That's the answer. I'm sorry. I'm going the exact
Fake
opposite
news.
direction
Fake news.
there. No, that's what it seems like
No,
a lot
but
of people are doing.
That's kind of how you're raised.
Right. That's
You
what I
know,
mean.
The Western world, very
Keep up
much
with the
so.
Joneses, right, is what you're saying,
absolutely.
right? Which isn't necessary at all.
And the Joneses live at the end of my street. They got the biggest house. They got the nicest yard. No, I don't know. I don't know who lives at the end of my street. Anyway, so once you got into it, though, like you say, it was an awakening in you, a profound experience that changed you. So when this sort of thing happens, whether it's you get into dance or music or sound feeling, any of that, people who are into it kind of dive headlong into it. You don't dip a toe. You just jump right in the deep end.
Well, when something feels so good, you taste that first whatever. Or
Taste the
you
dragon.
can't. Yeah, I get it. You can't help it. I want more. I want more of that feel good.
Yeah. So
Pigpen, you seen this actually happen with your wife, right? Remember when she started playing bass?
Oh, absolutely.
And she always wondered why he played music until she started doing it. It didn't really set in. The feeling of the stress and the release of everything going away during that time period was what made her keep coming back and doing it over and over.
Yeah.
After she got to playing for a while, she looked at me one day. We were out in the studio behind my house, and she said, "Oh my gosh, I just realized you're not just out here hiding from me and the kids. You're hiding from the bills and from work and from the next phone call." I said, "Yeah, it all goes away right here, and you get to just do this.
Get back in harmony.
And then, when you leave the studio, you can go back to doing whatever you do, I guess. But it's a dojo. It's a temple. It's a place that you just, this is where vibrations happen, and we have a good time, and we don't think about bills and school and work and that.
So for those folks listening on the radio version, we do the video as well, but you're definitely going to have to check this video out because she's brought some toys with her.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I call them toys. They're called bowls.
Singing bowls.
Okay.
Gong,
And you've got a
bell.
couple of copper ones and a crystal
brass
one
and
here.
copper, yeah,
And then you've got a giant gong sitting off
I
to the
do.
side as well.
Yep, and then I brought some bells too.
Okay, we got bells. Right, so basically percussion instruments
Yes.
for those not in the know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so tell us about these bowls. What do we got out here?
Yeah, so like I said, when it first started, the intrigue to me was I kept thinking, those crystal bowls, those crystal bowls, those crystal bowls. I didn't know they were called crystal singing bowls. And then when I, and everything started coming to me. Once I made that cut, right, like I'm leaving corporate America, it's like everything that I wanted. I kept thinking I want to do that thing with crystal bowls. Well, through my research and Googling every kind of word combination I could, I found out that crystal singing bowls, sound therapy. So sound therapy, which is what I'm certified in now, is placing the Himalayan bowls on the body, which are the brass bowls that you see a lot. And people will maybe think of people being in monasteries or temples and chanting and you hear you hear bowls, kind of thing. And then there's the crystal bowls, which are a little bit more of a modern phenomenon or a modern make. They probably started coming around a decade, 20 years ago or something. But they have a different kind of resonance. And obviously, the larger you get or the smaller you get of a bowl, it can resonate and fill a room up. But they have different ways for your brain to shut off, essentially, when you're listening to them. So we've got like the ocean of frequency, right? They're all different hertz frequencies, and they sound different. Metal sounds different than the crystal singing bowl and the gong. And so when you get this symphony of these different bowl sounds made of different materials, it's a pretty cool... It's a cool experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first thing I thought of when I heard those tones was church.
Yeah.
That's where I've heard those sounds before at churches. The
Yeah.
bells they ring
Yeah.
prior to service,
Yeah.
and I bet you most people that go to church don't realize why the bells are even there.
Yep.
Because this is a thing that has been hidden away from us.
Yes. So instead of it being a tool for going inward, it became a signal for alerting, right?
Right. Yeah.
So
Put your butt in the seat. It's
that's
time.
right. I know.
Wait,
Yeah.
what? Wait, what?
Yeah. But there's always been something kind of relaxing about that sound when you hear it walking into church. You kind of start getting into the mode of whatever religion you're about to practice and concentrating on it a little bit more.
Yeah. Our cells are super receptive to the sound of these kinds of noises. Our cells have little feelers on them, so they're pleasant.
Right.
And you kind of gravitate towards it, and your mind also is like, what is that? So you do have a bit of an attention, to seek it out more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now they call those singing bowls. Do you also
Yeah.
do the over the
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So if I take this rubber mallet, and let me kind of bring this up here a little bit closer. If I take this rubber mallet on the singing bowl, I brought a tiny one here.
Now she's just barely touching the edge of the top of the bowl and kind of circling it. As you can see, it got louder and louder.
And you guys, you know that when we were little, right, on TV, you'd see those guys with like crystal glasses with the water,
different amounts of water to make different
It's the
notes.
same
Oh, yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It's the same. They're made the same. Quartz crystal is heated up, essentially becomes glass, but it's really it's engineered. Thin glass and so today they make them so that they become certain notes. So and so you can do the same thing with the metal bowls as well. I don't think I brought the mallet to sing those, but yeah, they do that. I brought the mallet just to strike them.
Now that mallet,
DC. Oh, wait a minute.
what's that mallet made of there?
So this mallets can kind of come in different shapes and sizes, but this particular one is a felt covered, kind of a hard felt. And
The other one looks like it has
silicone.
maybe. Is that what that is?
Silicone rubber kind of. I guess that's what silicone is. And then there's the felt tipped one, which you find in percussion, right? Kind of things. Yeah. So.
I like that low one.
Soft mallet.
Yeah, if I get this one closer to the microphone, let's see if we can pick that up a little bit. This is when you can feel it in your body, like when you wear the sound baths and we put a mic on this. When it's on your body, it goes through your body. Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah.
A lot of people, and you know this with the bass guitar, it's probably why your wife really likes it.
Mm-hmm.
It will
It's the
go
bass.
through your body. Those vibrations, those deep ones, and our bodies love that feeling. So that's why babies like the backseat of a car. When they fall asleep, right?
Yeah,
we just chill out to those
absolutely.
deep vibrations.
Right. What happens? The baby's got the lullaby sound thing usually over the crib, right?
Yeah.
That the baby goes to sleep
They
to.
put the wrong thing there. They need the bass guitar up there, right?
I have a very, I hadn't thought about it for years, but when she said, oh, the way the babies love the back seat of a car, it brought back a memory. When I was a kid, my dad had one of those snub-nose vans that the engine set between the two seats, and he would throw a blanket over that, and I would lay on it because you didn't have to wear a seatbelt back then.
Right.
And I remember
No
just
rules.
shaking me and having that low hum of the motor, and it would just put me to sleep every time,
Right.
and, relax me real good. Relax me so much I poop my pants. I don't know if that happened. I was little. Come on. It was like at least a couple years ago.
A sound bath will not do that to you.
That cost extra. No, I'm sorry.
I don't have a bowl big enough for that.
Yeah, that takes a really big bowl.
Yeah.
You got to get the brown tone, and we can't make that with that.
I knew you were looking for the brown tone again.
Never-ending search for the brown tone.
Right.
All right. Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm spun out of control. But what you're doing, it's a healing thing, and physically, mentally, it can heal stress, which is the modern day killer because it's a physical and mental and emotional aspect.
So I'm currently reading a book right now with this prominent oncologist who's in New York and who's been studying. He actually was gifted a sound bowl, and this must have been like 15, 20 years ago. And fast forward, he found that in his own practice for himself, how it was changing his ability to calm down. So he started to bring these bowls to his patients in the office. And then that he just elevated into crystal singing bowls. And then he started to study the cultures of singing bowls. And then he got into the research and testing of how that was affecting oncology patients and healing them and helping them go through chemo and all that kind of stuff. And I don't have a lot of the information right now because I'm still reading the book. But it's just profound how it's healing all kinds of disorders and diseases, because when you get the body back in harmony, the body naturally heals itself. When you naturally, you cut your arm and it heals with, when you're a thriving young kid, right? We get older, we have so much stress in our body can't heal. And it's because we've got so much dense energy, stress energy. That's what makes us sick.
Yeah.
So the sound vibration, it helps harmonize the body, and you will start to see wellness, because entrainment, right? The more you're around it, the more your cells hold on to that information. So.
And you actually were certified in this. You went through not only a training process, but a certification of so many hours before you ever gave an official sound bath.
Yes.
You were doing these free ones to log some hours. Now, the certification process. How do you get started in something like that?
Again, it was one of those things where it just happened to come up on the internet, and I was searching, and I didn't even know what I was looking for. And then it pops up on Facebook, right? And I'm like, what? Like, what are the chances of this? And so I go to this, it's like 50 to 60 hour training. It was a full week. It was condensed, so we were there for like 10 hours a day. And then we had to put so many hours in once we got trained, and have real patient clients. And then, you go through a process before they will certify you, get feedback and that kind of thing. So that's how I got certified. But then the confidence and the real knowledge comes when you go out in the world. And that didn't come for another year, when I kept giving family members and friends and people one-on-one, the Himalayan bowls on the body. And I started to see firsthand and ask them questions and become a real listener, to how they felt and what they were doing. So I think with any practice, it's the true experience of going out there and doing it versus necessarily reading up. And, I love to read up on this stuff, but really it's the true practice of interacting with somebody and seeing the effects on it afterwards.
Yeah. Hands-on experience can't be beat.
Yeah.
So is that through like a university or something you get certified?
Vibrational Sound Association is what I am certified under.
Okay.
And they're VSA.
Okay.
VSA, I don't know if it's .org or .com, but that's how I got my certification.
Okay.
And they're the leaders in sound vibration certification all over the country.
Yeah.
And I respect them very much, and the guy that founded, and that's where I get a lot of my bowls and stuff. So.
Well, I know there's a lot more of this popping up in doctors' offices, dentist offices even. I went to a dentist recently, and he asked me what I would like to listen to while I was getting the work done. I'd never had that happen in a dentist office. So he had all these CDs there. What would you like to listen to? Pick whatever style, which I found interesting. But it says right here that a 20-minute session of listening to the crystal singing bowls is equivalent to 8 hours of the deepest sleep. The deep sleep, not the REM.
Right.
So in 20 minutes, you can cover 8 hours of sleep.
I can get so much more done now. Wait, is that the point? Is that the point? I'm not sure. I'm sorry.
It's amazing. It really is. Now, it's not to say every single person who lays down for 20 minutes. It's if your mind and your body reacts to it and you get into that state quicker.
Right.
Yeah, you can, for sure.
Right.
It's we had talked about it being close to similar to yoga. It's the same way with yoga. You can go do 20 minutes of yoga and just kind of get a little exercise out of it and feel loose, or you can feel it shoot up your spine and
That's true.
open up the third eye. I mean, it just depends on if you can reach nirvana. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think we can in 20 minutes.
Maybe.
So now you after getting your confidence, we were talking about you going out and doing all those things in 2018. Finally, 2019, you
just went out there.
You said, well, I'm going to do this for real.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
And I was sharing with you earlier, it's like everything started to come. This is when it's like you start trusting, and I'm going to talk about it in energy, but when you kind of surrender sometimes, you'll start to see that things start coming to you that you didn't expect, and this is an example of that. I was holding really tightly on to so many things I wanted in my life, and I was paying a big price for it. When I let that go and I started doing this, all the opportunities or the things I would need to make this happen came without me seeking them. I wasn't even at that point looking for a space, and someone's like, hey, what about this space for one of your sound things that you kind of do? And I'm like, wow, that would be kind of cool. I guess maybe I'll make a date, And I think literally I had the sound bath within 2 weeks. So, with some knowledge on trying to put an event together and some kind of marketing for that, it just kind of came together, and I had the right friends that wanted to support me. And the first one we did kind of with no cost, right? And or I think we had tickets, but essentially it paid for the event itself, kind of thing, right? But everything came together, and I was terrified. I couldn't even speak to the crowd that day. I remember I just kept looking at my friend who's leading with me, like, will you just do all the speaking? So I've really grown in the year and a half leading these kind of things because it's so real and honest inside of me. And so it gives me the motivation. I may be tired at the end of a day, and you guys know that with gigs and carrying equipment and all that stuff. But when you really love what you do, and you know that what you do is making an impact on other people, whether it's happiness or healing, you don't mind being tired.
Right. And
so I love it. And I do have to take care of myself and make sure I'm okay and balanced and stuff. And thank God I do this stuff. But it's been a lot of work in the last year and a half to get where I've gotten today, but I've loved every second of it. And
Now,
things keep like this interview here today, like things pop up and I'm like, oh my God, yes.
Yeah. Now this event, August 22nd, right, is going to be at Jacoby's Art Center, but this is something you do once a week, right, in St. Louis.
I have a community weekly sound bath that's affordable, and what I do is I pare it down to just an hour, so essentially you're getting like 40 minutes of sound, but I do the weekly because it's accessible to those that really need it. I have people that come that have stage 4 cancer. They're dealing with fibromyalgia. They're going through the worst, whatever, divorces or other things. And they come because it's the therapy that works for them. And the other sound baths, which are longer, like hour and a half, 2 hours, that might have inclusions of meditation and stuff, are a little bit more, a little element of delight and learning and education. But I do at minimum every week, yes.
Right.
40 minutes at the Link Auditorium in the Central West End in St. Louis.
Yeah. And you can find that information on your website, I guess. I can't even say it. Svound.com. Svound.
Svound.com. Swedish. Svound. Like a yurt? No, I don't know. I don't know.
I would like to plan a yurt.
Yurt is Swedish for orgy hut. No, I don't know if that's true. Again, fake news. I'm making all this up as I go along. One of the things that you do, though, in addition to the for the aesthetics, in addition to the bowls, is some candles and some visuals.
So the environment, I think, it's all part of the senses. I'm a sensory person, and I think we're delighted when we get out of our world. It's neat. And so, yes, the Jacoby Art Center, and I talked about, like, creating a temple, a temple that can represent your own temple, right? But we want to, we're going to go in there, we're going to fill it with candles and create an atmosphere that really gets us. I mean, we know the great cathedrals of the world. You go in there and there's always candles, right? And you can go light a candle, but there's something really beautiful about that, right? I've never been to Tibet, so I don't know about those, temples and stuff. But we want to recreate something like that. So
our
when you
local
walk in,
churches, a lot of them use candles. So, yeah. So everyone's kind of seen this, or maybe a Pink Floyd concert, right? When everyone's got their lighters lit, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They still do the lighters.
That makes a big difference, though, to the song. When you see all them people light that lighter, you get in a completely different mood.
Yeah. So it's going to glow red. We're going to have some real fire elements, candles, and people will get to remove themselves from their everyday life. And that adds to the element. And they get to lay down the whole time.
and speaking of what they do the whole time, let's get down to that. The only thing you need to do this is, say, a yoga mat or a mat to lay on, and then a blanket to cover up with, sheet or a blanket, whatever you're comfortable
Or you can bring a blanket to lay on that's kind of thick and you just don't want to be on the hard floor. But
but
comfortable.
Just something
blanket
under
on the
you to lay on and something to put over you.
That's
while
all
you lay,
need.
and that's all you need.
And drink some water before you come. Well hydrated
water,
cells.
maybe.
Yeah.
And that's in here. That's not
It is in here. He likes the sound bowls.
So what if a person just feels more comfortable sitting in a chair?
They can do that. I mean, if somebody also can't lay on the ground, they can't. But there's chairs, So some people do. It's always nice to be able to close your eyes. So they obviously don't have recliners there, but it is set up so that if you want to sit in a chair, you can definitely do that. That's a good point.
I know, like, if they're laying down, you would go up and you'd put the big copper bowls on their sternum and trying to send the vibrations through them. Now, what if they're sitting up? You put them like on their head?
Okay, so during a sound bath, we don't go to the individual bodies. What I'll be doing is I'll be a little bit more on the stage, and we're going to, I'll have my gong, and I have about, a total of 20 or something bowls. And so it's essentially kind of like there's the crowd and here's the stage, and that's the setup there. Some of the smaller bowls will be mic'd. And so you're essentially just going to be in the ocean of frequency.
Gotcha. That's why it's the sound bath.
That's right. Yeah.
It's a bath.
It's going to wash away tension and all that dense energy.
I need to wash away the stink of the day. That's
Right.
I don't know.
Well, you could relax in a bath and have somebody, doing a sound thing on the side.
That would be special.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
We were talking about it before.
I was trained in a pool.
Okay.
You can put the bowls in
would be great.
It's pretty cool.
Well, because
I was
water
trained
is
that way
healing too.
Yeah.
So,
You're telling
Yeah,
me,
but you could put a bowl. You can lay on a raft, and it's kind of submerged in there. But we have been trained to put the bowls around the body, and then we strike them, and then all the water vibrates around the body. It's pretty
Now,
amazing.
here you go. We just did this at my house a couple weeks ago. We took one of those air mattresses, put it in the pool, blew it up, so we were just like floating on a bed in the pool.
Yeah.
That would be great for this.
That's
'cause
how it's done.
It's a little more secure than even.
Or you can get some
mattress.
noodles.
Yeah.
That's it. Actually, to do you get the noodles under the knees and the.
That's
So
cool.
now, I before we kind of started the interview, I mentioned to you that I had been at a festival where it was the biggest sound bath I'd ever seen. It was huge, and there must have been hundreds of bowls, and people, they were lined up all around the outside. and people were running, like, doing circ, like, hit that bowl, then hit this bowl to make the sounds bounce. But then people would walk up and just barely tap them by someone's ear. It was very much like if you close your eyes, something loud would hit you, and then a bunch of soft dissonant.
And that kind of happens. That's what a sound bath is designed to do. You'll get, different levels, different frequencies, different tones. But I do actually go around. I take a big bowl, one of these low bowls, and I will go around each person's head. And they will feel that vibration on their cheek, on the side of their head. They'll, and then it just, you can't help it. It starts to go into the chest and the body. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Awesome.
But it's neat because it's creative and intuitive, and everybody does it differently. So to even hear that, I'm like, that's kind of cool. Yeah.
And if we've been talking about this for the past 30 minutes or so, and if any of this stuff sounds interesting to you, if you're thinking, man, that just sounds crazy, all the frequencies, and does this really work? Maybe you're questioning it. Well, there's only one way to find out.
Yep.
Right.
And that is to get down and do it, right? Or maybe you're really not even interested yet. You're going, oh, that's a bunch of hokey pokey. But at the same time, you're losing your hair because of your job. Maybe you should
more than your hair.
Yeah. Well, that's the visual part. You see that you're losing. Your liver's also dragging. No, I don't know. Anyway, I'm not a doctor. I just play one on the radio. If you have something ailing you that you think you could use some relief from, whether it be physical, emotional, spiritual, whatever, this could be the thing to help you. Could be the missing link, as you say, to connect you back to what you need to heal yourself, and not worry about everybody else healing you. This is a 40,000-year-old thing we're talking about. This isn't some Johnny-come-lately type thing, right? So.
You want to know how they built the pyramids?
Sound. Yeah. They vibrated those things up there, man. They didn't lift them, dude.
We didn't even get into the fact that the Earth is making its own.
The Schumann resonance. Yeah, So the one thing about that, I'm glad you brought that up. The frequency of the Earth is the same frequency as when our brain's in theta.
Yep.
Which means we're supposed to be in that healing state. And that gets all nerdy and stuff.
It does
like that,
get nerdy, but I love it.
Yeah.
Right?
Nerds,
Yeah,
because especially when we get older, nerds really are the coolest.
All of us has stared at those pyramids thinking, there's no way they did it the way they're telling us.
Now, have you ever heard of the Coral Castle?
Right, there you go.
There you go.
Another perfect
Castle,
example.
That was done with vibrations.
Yes,
man.
exactly.
It's a lot of amazing things going on in the world if we just pay a little attention.
Yep.
Or you can keep doing what you're doing. Whatever.
They're going to start. We'll start seeing that more coming mainstream. I bet you.
Another good reason to go check this out on August 22nd is, we got a lot of fans of music that listen to the show, and we can go see a rock band or a country band almost any weekend in this town, a jazz band. But we don't get many sound baths in town. So if you're ready for something different, you're tired of seeing the same thing every weekend, here's an opportunity to experience this. And, especially in this setting, like you said, you're going to be doing it from stage. So, a lot of people are a little timid.
It's a low stage, so it's still intimate, not
timid to participate. It happens at church too, right? You go to church and you're like, I want to sit in the back, So that's a great opportunity for those type people who just want to see it, stay in the back maybe, and just quietly watch what's going on and take that in. So sounds really interesting to me.
The great thing about vibration is even if you just sit in the back, it's going to penetrate through to you.
Yeah.
You're still going to get the bath.
Yeah.
You might not get the bath in the center. You're at the shallow end of the pool bathing. I don't know.
I always tell people at minimum, you'll get the best night's sleep.
Yeah.
I always hear people say, I never slept so well.
Yeah.
And we all kind of deal with trying to get to sleep at night, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And even if it's
I got a medical card for it. Oh,
yeah. Even if it's you just come to chill, that's enough. You will get a bliss state. You will.
So, do you happen to have any audio recordings of this available that people could take home and play while they go to sleep or something like that?
That's actually coming.
Okay.
That kind of stuff is coming. So
yeah,
baby steps. But
I know some people who put on a CD of thunderstorms. For whatever reason, it makes them sleep better. I don't know, but
I sleep to the pan flute CD. No, I don't.
Pan flutes are good. Yeah,
I know.
I love pan flutes.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
So you're also on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Svound,
Yeah.
Svound,
Yeah.
on Facebook. And as we mentioned, the website's svound.com. So you can catch up with all that. And, of course, the show August 22nd at Jacoby's Arts Center. You can get tickets in advance, and they are $30 in advance and $35 at the door. And you've got kids' tickets as well, $15 for kids. And you told us that kids show up to this with their parents, and it's pretty amazing to watch what they go through. Because how many times do you get to actually relax with your children in that way?
Yeah, and they usually knock out. They immediately just blitz out, you
Right.
know, and then at the end they're in that bliss state. But some benefits that are cool is one woman started bringing her teenager. She was probably 14 or 15, or maybe she was 12 or 13, and she said her grades, her study habits and grades changed after she started going to Sound. I mean, it does have some pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're talking from personal experience. I mean, it changed your life.
Yeah.
So you can imagine what it could do for your next essay.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, well, they say with ADHD, I mean, it really
Right.
helps. And so I'm not claiming that I'm a doctor, that I have cured people, but I can tell you that people come to my sound baths, might have brought their kid just to say, hey, it's an educational thing, or I needed a night, and they're going to knock out. But then they'll be like, I had no clue that the teacher was going to call me and tell me that something's changed in them and that their study habits and their grades are getting better. And it's like, well, that's kind of cool.
Study habits better. Listen, that's $15 for a kid ticket from 10 to 15. That's cheaper than a tutor. That's all I'm going to say. Not cheaper than Sullivan. No, Sylvan, whatever it is. I don't know. I'm sorry. No, that's great because it can change, like we were talking about, mentally, spiritually, physically. It can heal all aspects. It can make the pyramids or the coral castle or anything. Vibrations are what we all are.
Yeah.
And it's what all sound is. So
Sound is all
Well, and that's
around.
I love that you guys are mentioning these things about pyramids and stuff. My goal is, as I do sound, 'cause
build a pyramid.
maybe.
That'd be cool.
Awesome.
I know, we can do it.
Because that's been my
Bring
goal
the
too,
bass. Have your
right?
wife bring the bass.
Right.
And I do specialty sound baths. This first one at Jacoby is just dedicated to just sound, but I do like to add in education. And sometimes, I've done things that have educated a little bit up at the pyramids and, sound chambers inside and other aspects of like what has been lost in history and what is the implications of sound and vibration through history and us as human beings and nature and the Earth's resonance. And for people who kind of get into it and find it interesting, it's really fun. Yeah.
Yeah. I think many people have talked about the story in the Bible about Jericho. And the walls
the
come
walls
down
down,
from
man.
the horns,
Yep,
right?
absolutely.
The sounds of the horns. So, I mean, it's been around forever.
Yeah.
Forever. And used way more often in those times than it's used today. So,
Yeah.
and a lot of things are coming back from those times because the truth always surfaces.
Yeah.
Can't keep it hidden forever.
Sound is I rate it up there with like water. Just one of the most amazing things that people just sort of take for granted. We were saying the pyramids, you can build things with it. The walls of Jericho, you can tear things down with it. You can heal with it. You can hurt with it. They use sound to, at Waco, they blasted horrible music at
Well-
And if you think about advanced medicine, I mean, they're using sound frequency, sound waves. I mean, frequency white is sound, light wave. I mean, sound, ultrasounds, laser therapy, all of that is frequency. It's all energetic sound frequency. And so that's where modern medicine is heading. And I always tell people sound is the future of medicine. Sound, it includes frequency, light, it's all the same. But
Definitely. Even the government uses it to squelch riots. Sound.
absolutely.
They got sound machines they roll up now.
Yeah, so I mean, you can destroy, you can hurt with it, you can help.
or you can
Oh,
throw up at a frequency. I
Exactly.
remember I've heard
Yeah.
some frequencies, not that anything I've played, but like some big bass, people going down the street and they put that bass on.
Yeah.
And you can
So
literally.
there's proof right there it works. I mean, they wouldn't weaponize it if it didn't work.
We can weaponize anything. We can make a weapon out of a penny, I'm telling you. I know. All right, so we've been talking to Lisa Grezlak and Svound. from Lisa Grezlak is the business. She gives sound feeling, sound healing. It is a sound bath that is happening on August 22nd from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. down at Jacoby's. Everybody get down there. Again, once again, advance tickets $30, jacobyartcenter.org. Tickets at the door $35. Kid tickets $15. Absolutely. Let's
hear some more sounds. That is cool. You know, normally we ignore most of our guests, but we actually paid attention to her because it was so interesting, Big Ben.
I have just found my
been really neat.
center.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks.
That is
again.
so cool.
Thanks again, Lisa. Everybody come down to Jacoby's August 22nd.
Open to public. Everyone's welcome.
There you go. And be healed by sound with the Svound by Lisa Grezlak.
Yeah, come to the special temple.
Or just look at giant copper bowls like you've never seen before, you know?
I picture like the old mixing up a medicine in there. I don't know.
Yeah, well.
All right. So everybody, also, what else do we got to do other than get down there on the 22nd?
Well, we always get out and we support local art and music.
There we go.
Thanks to our sponsors, Halpin Music Company and Mr. Matt Van Voorhis, who sells insurance. And I noticed on here that you're insured. It says insured therapist, so that's pretty...
I am insured.
Well, it's in case there's a bad
I'm
accident.
going to talk to Matt and see if I can get insured as a therapist.
Just like we said, sound right down the walls of Jericho. What if she's making the sound and all of Jacoby's caves in?
Well.
She does it wrong. She's good, but
No,
what if she
these
makes a
sounds are
mistake?
good, Pig
What
fan.
about you start levitating? And then
Right.
There you go.
on the floor.
Right.
There you go.
You're 6 feet off the ground levitating and somebody stops the bowl and you just fall. And
right.
that's
I'm
where
covered.
the insurance comes
That's
in.
right.
So.
That-
What a good sponsor.
Wow, that is awesome.
It has probably never happened once in Jacoby's, but who knows? It could happen this week. I'm ready to see some. I got levitation.
Yeah, little 13th floors. Right?
13th
I think
floor
you're
elevator.
manifesting something
I
here.
think he is, right?
I am manifesting my own destiny.
This whole
every
thing
day.
has been manifested.
Deepest manifestations of my own consciousness. I don't know. All right. Thanks again. To
I
Lisa.
am shocked that you didn't mention psychedelics through this whole thing.
I've
I
been
know
thinking
it's
about
on
it
your
the entire
mind.
time. I was on just enough psychedelics to not mention them tonight. No, that's not true.
Well, you know,
I
many
commit
many
to.
folks who
All
went
right.
through a psychedelic experience had
Yeah.
the same exact reaction as she's talking about. It changed their lives.
You
Yeah.
turn it's Saul on the road to Damascus seeing the light. It's the drinking of the Soma water that started the Astral-Zoroanism religion. I mean, they
Right.
all have profound experiences
It's
that
that
set off great things. So.
Tapping into that pineal gland.
I tell you,
Opening
you
that
know,
third eye, yeah.
Squeegee
Yeah.
the third eye, and you will see clearly.
Yeah.
So there we go. Thanks again to Lisa. Thanks to Dennis, and of course Alex Honky hiding in the background who does the videos. And thanks so much to Halpin Music and Matt Van Voorhis for sponsoring us for all these years, no matter how goofy we get. Everybody get out and support local music and or art and sound baths.